Hello, my name is Angel. Today, I would like to take the Form 3s through one of the questions that came in the BECE 2017. Question number 1, compulsory AI. They were asked to outline the steps by which the serial number 1 to 7 were generated without typing them one by one. So I will look at that and then I'll further delve into how to automate serial number in the development of Excel template. So for the sake of the Form 3s who are going to write their exams, if you meet any question like that again, basically the approach is that for the first data that is entered, you type 1. The second one, you type 2, and you highlight the first and second cell. Then you run autofill for the rest of the cells. So by that way, you are not automatically typing, or you are not manually typing all the serial numbers. So when you highlight the first 2 cells and you send the mouse pointer here in the form of plus to the corner of the cell until it turns to small plus. If it turns into small plus, that means you are ready to do autofill. So you click and hold and drag. That will give you the autofill. So basically, that is how the autofill is done in Excel. That is how so that is how come they were able to get the serial number from 1 to 7 without typing them from 1 to 7. So basically that is for the Form 3s. But for you, those who are programmers or Excel developers or Excel designers who create forms for clients or schools or employers to use to collect data on any sort of thing, there is a way to develop Excel forms or Excel templates in such a way that the user will not have to type in the serial numbers. So we can use a formula or a function called count. We can use a function called count and count A. Count and count A. Count is used for counting numbers or values in a cell. Count is used for counting numbers and values in a cell. Count A is used for counting labels and text in a cell. In one of the videos I did, I talked about the type of data that is entered into spreadsheet cells. We talk about labels and values basically. So we talk about labels and values, basically. So in this lesson, we are going to look at how to use the count A to create an automatic serial number when the data is entered into these cells here. So basically that's what we will do for today. So let's get to it. In the first one, you just use, we know in Excel we start our formula basically with equal to sign. So I'll use count A. So I want the application to count the data that is entered into C5 or into this cell for me. So it will be able to count for me. So for the first one, when entered, when I type AMA, it's able to count the serial number 1. So I'm just using the count to write the serial number without typing it so that it will be automatic for me. Now, if I delete AMA from this cell, something happens. 0. I don't want to see this. My boss will always tell me, I don't want to see this. I don't want to. So I don't want to see this in the cell when nothing is typed. So what do? We are going to rewrite this formula. So I will say if this cell is empty, if this cell is empty, then the serial number should also be empty, else it should count that text for me from this cell. So that is that. So you realize that the 0 is gone. So if I type Adwa into this cell, it's able to count for me automatically. So that's going to be my serial number. Now, how do we do for the second and subsequent ones? It's going to be the same thing. So I'll say equal to, if this cell is empty, then my serial number should also be empty, else it should count the serial number. It should count the number of cells in this range of cells from 1 to 2 for me. So because if I said the second serial number is going to be the range of cells from the first one to the second one. That will give us the second serial number. Now in this case, I want to hold the second cell. Sorry, I want to hold the first cell. So I will use the $sign to hold the first cell. So that is how it's going to be. So let's look at it again. Count A. Now I'm counting this cell to this cell. Count A. I've not defined our parameters very well. So let's rewrite the formula. Let's rewrite the formula. So we are writing for this. Better still, we are writing for the second serial number. It's very easy. Equal to, if this cell, the second cell here, is equal to empty, is empty, then this should also be empty, else it should count what for us? It should count this range of cell for us. Yes. So it has counted 2 for us. So this cell and this cell. But how do I make it in such a way that it will be able to hold the first cell in counting when I do the autofill? So I will use the $sign to hold my first cell. So when I hold and do autofill for the range of cell, if it is 2,000 cells or more, it's able to count. So immediately I enter the data into the cell, it will give me the serial number automatically. So it doesn't matter if I remove the data from that cell, it will not count. So this will give us the consistency in numbering the data that we enter into the cells. This is very simple. It helps a lot. It helps a lot, so that you will know the number of entries that you have made in a form. Assuming the data that you are entering is so much, is so bulky, you'll be able to count the number of entries that you have done, and it gives you accuracy in numbering. It gives you accuracy in numbering. That is when you are entering a large data into your template. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching.